with us because it's the second video we've done and we're not, you know, we're getting there. If you've got any ideas on what you want to see, drop it in the comments and we'll try and address that. So we're back on with the car again. As you've seen in the last one, I've finished off most of the stitch welding on the front half, and we've got basically back end to finish now. So we've got some dressing up to do here to clear the toe link, basically just taking a bit off here and blending it in so it looks right. That'll clear the toe link. I've got fuel tank bracket to take off. As you can see, they've already started taking it off. We'll finish it off, plug the holes back up that I've gone through into it, and then it'll just be a case of continuing on with the stitch welding. So all this all the way around here will make that look a bit nicer. Various bits and pieces. We've got a bit down here that we've got to again tidy up. It looks like what they've done is when they've drilled these for the fuel pipes to go through, we'll cut that back and tie it in and make it look nice and tidy. All this to be stitch welded. All these pieces, all to be stitch welded. These we're going to leave on. So these have been marked up previous to us receiving the shell to be taken off. When we've looked at the Bastos car, they're actually still on, so we'll leave these on and we'll maybe just put a few welds around them just to make it look nice. And then it'll be a case of we get in and we dress all this up, and again before paint, other bits and pieces that have been done to the shell. If anybody's wondering, if we go around the other side, step through here, which this is before we've got it. So if we look here, all these bits here have been plated up. So this is where they have all the like little slots in the floor. They've put individual panels in here, welded all that in. They've done all this. We've got these bits of plate that have been added here. Some bits of plate here, which I believe is for the side exit exhaust. So there's that's being done, which is different to the standard shell. We've got air jack tubes which have been added. So again, anyone who's looking at doing something like this, that's something else you'd need to add. And then we've got plates here, which we think are for the roll cage.
Yeah, they're like a strengthener plate for the floor, and that's where the roll cage welds to.
And then we've got 4 holes. That'll be obviously bulkhead fittings will go into here, and that'll be for the fuel system to go through. And then the other jobs that we've got to do is we've got to basically fill all these. So we'll be making up some 50mm, 1.2mm thick plates. These will all get just 4 tacks on each one. That's another job to do. I think there's 14 of them to do.
There's quite a few in there. When you look round the car, there's a lot to do.
So there's quite a bit of work involved in one of these before you even get to the point of putting the roll cage in. We estimate there's also pedal box to adapt for the 2 cylinders. So there's quite a bit before you even get to putting a roll cage in one. We think maybe a couple of weeks from a shell coming in to getting it to more or less this stage.
Then we have to start looking at wheel arches, because all rear wheel arches, we need to get rid of this lip. So what we'll do is roll that back in and get rid of that, and then flare it out slightly so we get more clearance on the wheels. All this will have to be seam welded in here, which Steve is on with today. So we're getting there slowly. As Steve said, probably 2 to 3 weeks of fabrication on a shell alone before we do anything else. You know, there's a lot, like on the bulkhead here, that's altered, because if you look on a standard car, there's about ½ an inch of metal that sits downwards inside the car. That's been trimmed and then folded and welded to get rid of all the sharp edges and give you a little bit more room for the engine to sit in. Battery tray has been removed. Strengthener panel there has already been removed. There's a lot more than people think when you start at them. There's a huge amount of work. A lot of brackets have been taken off. So we're on with it. You can see seam welding everywhere. I think that'll do. What we'll do, we'll add a little bit more, as Steve's done a bit more welding, and we'll add that to this video for you.
we've finished for today. What we've done is we've just continued on with the stitch welding. So I've done rear chassis legs, I got them done. Both sides, all the way up the chassis. We got these bits done just inside here. I managed to get that bit done, and I've started to come across the rear cross member, so I'll finish that off tomorrow. I've also took fuel tank strap bracket off that was here, so basically drilled out the spots and then I backfilled or plugged the holes back in and then dressed them up. Same again down that side, been up there, again in here where the inner arch meets the outer arch. We've gone all the way in there, stitch welding. So yeah, we're getting there with it now. We'll soon be heading towards getting a cage in. We've had a look over it as well, and we've got some anti-roll bar brackets that we need to fabricate and fit. So Paul will tell you where they go.
Yeah, roughly somewhere about here. They're quite a simple basic bracket. So we're going to dig out all the parts tomorrow out a container, the brand new Eggenberger bits, so we can get the anti-roll bar lined up, so we know exactly where everything wants to be, where it all wants to go. Yeah, there's actually a pen mark there that somebody's done prior to us, so it won't surprise me if that's where it goes. Steve's just got to do in there tomorrow, finish seam welding that, and we're not far off. We've done away with that lip there because it's a pain in the arse if you're working on cars, so we've planished it round and folded it, so he's gonna.
You see this side's already been tapped over. We've just got that side to do, and then we'll just stitch it back down.
So we're about there. We're not far off really. All these holes to do, as we said earlier, we can cut them out, get them done, then obviously roll arches and flare them, put the front wings on and flare them arches. But we're not far off. Obviously the bulkhead to do, as we said earlier, for the brake bias box, but we're getting there. It's looking great. We've got all the steel tubing, as you saw earlier, for the cage. So I would think either later this week or early next week we'll start doing cage, won't we, Steve?
Yeah, we should do, yeah. Get on with that, get that started, and we'll show everybody how we do it.
Brilliant. So thanks for tuning in, and we'll do another video later in the week. Cheers.